So it looks like Nissy is returning to Bkchat London, and I'm all for it. And this particular episode with the creator was definitely needed.
And, you know, this season, maybe she's back.
She's back. Nissy's back.
Boy.
Listen, I will have to do what I need to do in order to make sure that that child is as comfortable as possible.
Hey guys, it's Marwan Rani. Hope you guys are all doing well today. So we have this particular different episode where we have Reese Parkinson talking to the creator, Andy, and I feel like this kind of conversation was kind of needed, or this episode was needed, because we never really had anything like this where the creator talks about the show and, you know, all these questions that they ask. And, you know, he really does talk about the fact that there's going to be Nissy, who's returning to the show, which I'm all for. Obviously had to go away for graduation and now she's back, so I'm all for that. And then we have Bkchat Houston.
In post-production at the moment, the sound is a lot better than New York. I would say that much, because we had time to go and get some mics together. But still, it still needs work. But, you know,
which is going to be another Bkchat saga that's going to hit us. In my opinion, I feel like they need to bring Bkchat London back ASAP right after New York. Bring this back, then go off to Houston. Don't do New York and Houston, because you're going to lose a lot of followers, because people just want London back at this point. At this point, they just want London back. They don't even want anything else. Nevertheless, I do feel like Bkchat Houston will have some form of potential. I feel like it might be better than Bkchat New York. Maybe because the setting looks quite familiar as well. That was quite, you know, something that we can easily relate to, which they didn't have in New York. They were in a random classroom. These small little factors do matter when it comes to the audience building a bridge. You can see there was a sense of establishment with the Bkchat London cast. So hopefully we'll get that with Houston. And for now, we'll just have to let New York run and just see if we like any of the episodes or we don't. So, and I feel that was very interesting because he spoke about the hate he was getting from New York. And
you know what I'm saying? It's just people just expressing themselves at home, thinking that, you know what, I want this to be a little bit better, I want this, and we do try and listen to them and
so forth. But, you know, he with all the love that he suddenly got from Bkchat London, he should have gone to Leeds, Manchester, the rest of the UK, which is what he was feeling or understanding. But, you know, he went straight to New York, which was a success in his eyes, because obviously the views are over 100k and so forth. You know, you're going to a different country, different setting, a little bit more of an audience.
At the same time, but we have to expand. And this is why a lot of the shows don't last long, because they kind of kill it wherever they are. They're scared to kind of reach out. They're scared to cross barriers and stuff like that. We decided, you know what, why limit ourselves to just the UK?
Still a success, and I do agree with him in that point, but overall I wouldn't say going to Bkchat New York is a success. Is that a bad thing? No, it's not. People have successes in businesses, they have failures in businesses. That is a simple art of a business. So in my opinion, I do feel like even if it's a failure, it's a good failure, because you can work from that to now move on to something else. Now they've said that Bkchat London filming has already started, which basically means that that show is probably going to be back in a month or so, who knows, because when it comes to editing and so forth, when they say that they're filming, they mean the show will come back very soon. So I'm very keen to see that. We're going to see some new people for Bkchat London, 1 to 2 new characters, which is going to be quite cool, which he was saying. We're going to see people like Nuni will be called back, Ramla will be called back, Adrian or Omar, will these new characters be called back? And he was talking about how Esther was seen as somebody that he's worked with and so forth, and that there was an easier transition for Esther to come on the show. And I do believe that, and I do support that. So I feel like Esther would be a better transition, such as like Noonan, for example, to come to Bkchat New York, because she's a more of an established character on that show, so it'll be easier for us to relate. That was the one thing. But the mistake that they made was that they put her on 2 shows.
I feel like I've known Esther for a long time. I've known Esther for a while, before production even started. I've known her for a while. I've worked on other projects with her as well. So I feel like for me, she's a lot easier to handle and a lot easier to deal with. No shade.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? She has a lot of experience in dealing with different people.
Really should have been on just 1 show. Multiple shows is just simply not needed, because then, you know, as an audience, we're just going to be irritated by constantly seeing the same character. But I think the moral of this particular conversation that he has is that I feel like it was very healthy. It was very easy for us as an audience to understand what Andy's thoughts are and his processes are, because we never really got that direct influence of what he thinks about what's going on in terms of feedback and so forth. He understands that, but when it comes to the comments, that, you know, they're just expressing themselves, and, you know, he's not really getting upset about it. He's talking about Bkchat Houston, which is coming. Bkchat New York, he feels like is a success. He's talking about, you know, Esther's one of their favourite characters and so forth for him, and that Nissy's coming back. It's going to be new characters for Bkchat London as well, and the filming is already started for that as well. So a lot of information we've been given as an audience, which I felt like was very useful in terms of for us, for me particularly as well, because I wanted to know what was going on and so forth, and just to hear his thoughts and processes of everything. So in effect, I am looking forward to Bkchat London coming back. I'm looking forward to Nissy, and I'm also looking forward to Bkchat Houston. I know we've already been plagued with Bkchat New York, and I'm not going to say it's a horrible show, but we've obviously seen that it's not, you know, reflected the same success as Bkchat London, so we want Bkchat London to come back straight away. But I feel like once Bkchat New York is done, they're going to jump straight into Houston because they've already filmed that. So I am looking forward to Houston. When I saw the little clips, no expectancies were built. It seemed a bit more real and less constructed, a bit more natural, whereas this one, it did not at all. It seemed like it was fake, it was a bit built on, and, you know, the way they're following the cameras around, getting everyone to sit down, it just seemed to feel like you were trying to egg on drama.
You know, there was a little drama in it. It was a strategic move to put that episode first because we felt like we can gain more views from that and then piggyback off of that to release other episodes. And in between that and the second episode, we released the Honey Aftermath, where she had a little rant about what happened. Literally, as soon as she walked off, a camera followed her and she just blew up. Yeah. And the format has been working so far. So in New York, I'm just doing the same thing.
And just was not needed. So I feel like that in particular was very interesting to say the least. But yeah, these are my smaller reviews on that particular interview that these two people had. I feel like it was very interesting. I feel like it was needed. We need to build that bridge with Andy, his thoughts and his process of the show, and where he wants to go next. We've got Bkchat Houston coming next. Let's look forward to that. We've got Nissy coming back. Let's look forward to that as well. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think of that video if you've seen it. Hit the subscribe button if you guys want to, and I will most definitely catch you guys soon.